Hi, I'm Vince Weston. This is my final reveal, I guess. Final chapter of The Punisher. As you can see, he's completed. I've finished his base also. Papa Dan had suggested that I should put graffiti on it. I had thought about it and kind of discounted it at first since I'm not a graffiti artist. But I looked up a couple of things on the web and I just put some tags on and some other stuff. So that's in that. Okay. I haven't pinned him down yet because I can't quite figure out how I want him to stand. So he is free floating at the moment. Let's see. I guess I should quick go through some of the colors. The coat is my imitation of leather, which is a flat black, and then I used the Delta matte on it. I was going to use satin, but I think matte's glossy enough, especially considering he's dirty. I did repaint the pants. They are now charcoal. Dun, dun, dun. Ceramic coat charcoal. The shirt remained wrought iron. That's a folk art color. Let's see. What else did I do? Oh, the shoulder harness and the belt are actually a medium gray. I think it's rainy day gray. I didn't bring that one over. And the buckle is platinum. I've done some washes on these so they don't quite shine as much as they would. That's one of the things I did on the pants, was I used my proprietary flat. Oh, also the shirt is my proprietary flat, which is this mixed with this. It gets more of a dead flat than the matte. So I figured that way it looked a little bit more t-shirt-ish and worked out pretty well, I think. Let's see. The skin tones were kind of a mix of flesh and where is that stuff? Oh, I think it's rusty pipe. Just a little to take out some of the pinkness. I think I mentioned that last time. Shoes are black. Let's see. So that's pretty much the paint. The only place I used enamels, and it was these two. It's steel and gunmetal, was on the gun itself. And maybe I can come in a little closer and maybe it'll focus. Which is, I don't have a gunmetal or a steel color in acrylics, and I really got to use these enamels up somehow. As you can see, I also used my proprietary flat on the bottom to give it more of a dirty look, so it wasn't quite as shiny. You can kind of see where it kind of distinguishes between shiny and dirty. Let's see, I also did around back, beat him up pretty good on the back. So he's, looks like he's been rolling around a little. The base, as I had mentioned, I did graffiti on it. I won't mention anything. I actually painted it like a light yellow, and then I kind of really messed it up. I put a lot of dirty on it with the rusty pipe again in a wash. And I kind of ran it down the walls. I let it run down the wall, and I don't know how well that's showing up, but you know, if I get a quick little, you can kind of see where it's streaking. The other thing I did do was my bullet traces that I mentioned. These are stretched sprue, stretched clear sprue to be precise, and I just pinned 5 of them in the wall. And then, as I had mentioned, I decided I was going to do a ricochet, and I even painted the little lead bullet. It's actually zinc color on the end. The other thing is I made cigarettes to be in the scene. There's about as many of those as there are bullets. Basically, that was just a matter of taking some of this phone wire I have and dipping it in, cutting off the blue parts, of course, and dipping it into a brown, and then I did a little flat black on the end. This is also the second part of the barrel. Once again, I forgot to mention that while I was here. The barrel is actually a paper clip that I cut down to size, and the recoiler on the bottom here is actually a stripped piece of the phone line. I also put a little super glue sight on the end here, which probably won't show up, but that's okay. It's there. Let's see, what other exciting things are there? That's really, yeah, that's one thing I did want to mention. As you might remember, it was a 3-piece kit, one piece being the major portion of it, the other being his right arm, the third piece actually being the barrel, which of course I didn't use the resin piece for that. But when I did glue this on, glued his arm on, I did pin it, and I glued it with super glue. And this was my first experience with Gorilla Glue. This is the Gorilla Super Glue. Classic Plastic, Chrisit Classic Plastic, I should say, 101. Seems to use this a lot, and I think it does work out pretty well. It does seem a little bit more rubbery. I was able to still sand the seams, so you can't even really tell where it actually goes together, because that line that you're seeing is not the actual line. It actually comes along here, I think. Pointing with the wrong end. Comes through there. I had to do a little carving in a little bit, but it worked out pretty well. Like I said, I haven't pinned him down because I just can't figure out if I want him this way, or up here, or the base is really only 3x5, so there's not a lot of space he can go on. But that's I just quite haven't figured out what angle I want him to stand at. I'm kind of liking this because the bullet, of course, bounces between his feet. The other thing was I put a little sand down and colored it a little bit, and over here is actually some flakes from the base itself, which is that air-pocketed foam. I had scraped some off, and I threw a little pile there in the background. Let's see, is there anything else I forgot to mention? Oh, the skull, by the way. I did mention this last time. I used Glad Press and Seal, which of course didn't seal completely as a mask, but this is actually primer white. I figured I would decide not to paint it any other color. I thought that would work out as pretty well, and since there was enough bleed through to make it look, if he focuses, enough bleed through that it would be sufficient in coloration. So I just left that alone. But that's about it, I think. Let's see, anything else on my list? Nope. That's about all I got. I haven't quite figured out what my next project's going to be. I'm debating back and forth and back and forth. Actually, I've dragged 2 kits out of the stash. One's a small plane, and I may just... it's a 1/72nd, and I may just do that as a secret project I'll just build it up and do the reveal when I finally get that. The other is actually a car, kind of an odd car, but I don't know. I'm still debating whether I want to go on to Captain America or maybe something Star Trek. I don't know. A little lost at this point. Have to think about it. Alright, so that be it. I'll give you a little zoom in here. Guess there's really no sense in spinning him around, so I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Have fun, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.